Hello everyone, welcome back to In Hand Automation. I am Saurabh Pal, and as I promised you earlier, I will be coming up with the next video in which we'll be discussing about the Capgemini L2 round interview experience, what and all the question I faced during the L2 round of interview, and how I answered them, and personal advice for you and interview tips, how you can answer those particular questions in a proper way and crack the interview easily. So let's get started. Yeah. So the first question was, tell me about yourself. So in this question, as you guys are already know, we have to explain ourselves in a very crisp manner because the detailed version of your resume is already in hand of the interviewer, right? You have to end your introduction at the place from where you want to get the next question. So I got the next question from the same area only, like what and all the automation testing tool have you worked with? Explain your experience. So I started explaining like what and all the testing tool I have worked. So that's how he will get to know, okay, the candidate is having end-to-end knowledge about the testing life cycle. So that will give a good expression to the interview. So the next question was, have, have you used Java collection? How do you use that in your automation framework? So you can start with the collections are extensively used in the automation framework to store, to manipulate the data, to remove the duplicacy, to store the key value pairs. So for that we have different type of interfaces here. The first is list. In the list, what is the specification of the list is it stores the web element. It can have the duplicates value as well. It you can use while reading the Excel file, or you can use while reading the JSON data. And if you want to keep the unique values, you don't want the duplicate value, then you can use the set. Okay, so the next thing, what is the map? Now you can tell something about the map, like if you want to store the key value pair, so you can use the map. If you are using any API request and response data fetching action over there, then you can use the map. If you want to store some configuration value, then you can use the map. So if you will give the examples along with your, the answers, so that will give a next level and different level of impression to the particular interviewer, and you will have a different level of eye-catching answers. Correct. After this, I got the next question from the interviewer side is, what is an assertion in test ng? Explain different type of assertion you used. So I started with what exactly the assertion is. So I just told that the assertion are used to validate whether the actual result is matching with my expected result or not. So there are two type of assertion, hard assertion and soft assertion. So what is the difference between hard and soft assertion? Okay. So hard assertion, like it will immediately stop the execution if that validation is failed. But what about the soft assertion? Soft assertion will continue the execution even if an assertion fails, right? So to use the assertion, I am hoping that you guys are already aware, and there are a lot of methods like assert equals, which will be comparing the actual versus expected result. Assert true, which will be used for is visible and is enable method, whether the particular element is visible or not into the DOM. And assert null. So if you are checking some value whether it is present or not, it is not null. So in this way you can use the assertion. So I explain to the interviewer that I generally use the hard assertion for the critical validation like login success, and I use the soft assertion when I need to validate the multiple UI element on the same pages. Okay. So after answering the assertion, my next question came from interviewer side was, what is method overriding? So explain with a real-time example. So what is method overriding? Method overriding occurs when a child class provide its own implementation of a method which is already defined in a parent class. Okay, I know it was very technical definition. Let me explain you in a normal way. So what is method overriding? Method overriding is, for example, there are two different classes, but the, we have one method in each class with the same name, and the class extend from one child class extend to a parent class, right? So in that way, method overriding is achieved. Let me quickly show you here. This is override. This is method overriding, right? We have a same name of method, but in a different class, and those class are automatically having a interconnection using this extend keyword, right? So this is how the method overriding is, and how I explain to the interviewer that like how I am using it in automation framework. So we often use this override method for the browser invoking purpose and for the reporting generation to provide the browser a specific implementation. So that's how you can explain like what is method overriding and with the real-time example. Yeah. After this, the next question came, what is page object model and why do we use it? So whoever is having a good experience in automation framework creation, they will know that the page object model is a design pattern. What is design pattern? So like you are creating a automation framework, right? So how you will be keeping your classes, where you will be keeping, how you will be segregating the classes. So these and all are coming into a pattern. You should be following some pattern so that it will be easy to understand the framework, and it will be easy to understand your teamwork, team members can easily pick it up, and it will be very easy for you to maintain in future. So what is the page object model? So page object model is a design pattern which is used to improve the automation framework maintainability. In page object model, what we do, the main feature about the page object model is page classes contain the locators, page classes contain the reusable method which we'll be using again and again, and test classes contain the only test logic. We will be having a separate classes for each web page. Okay, and what are the advantage of the page object model? So advantages is it is a better code reusability, it is very easy to maintain, it reduce the duplicate work because we are creating reusable classes, we are using it again and again, simply calling it by the object reference, and it improve the readability. And if you want to give the real-time example, you can tell we have a separate classes like login page, home page, and checkout page. So whenever a locator is getting changed, we just only need to go and update into an parent classes instead of each multiple class. So I will directly go and update in a parent class, and it will my reference wherever it is referencing, automatically all the places the locator will be going as a updated one. So that's how you can explain about the beach object model and why do we use it. Now the next question came, if you have opened 5 browsers, right? How will you switch back to the parent window? Okay, so let me show you how we can do that quickly. What you need to do to handle the multiple browser windows, you have to use a get window handle and get window handle. So get window handle is used to store the parent window handles. The return type of get window handle is a string of web element, and the return type of get window handle is set of a string, right? So using this, you will be switched back to the parent window. What you did here, you took the get window handle first for to store the parent ID, and then you took the get window handles to store the all windows IDs, and you iterate over it, and you checked, you went through all the windows, and then again you are coming back to the parent window. So this is how you can handle the multiple browser windows, and we can switch back to the parent window. Yeah. So after this, the next question came, write a Java program to count the occurrence of each character in a word, right? When word is Selenium without using the maps. For that, here, let's go to the online compiler. Here I have, okay? So for that, I have one string str is equals to Selenium. There, here I have written the code. So what we will be doing first, we will be splitting the string so that it will be stored in a string array. Each character of the string will be in a separate index. For example, S will be stored in a separate index, E will be stored in a separate index, L will be stored in a separate index. Okay, and now we'll be creating one for loop. So this for loop will be iterating over one time, and again inside the for loop we are initiating one counter which will keep the count uh, of that particular word, like how much time it is repeated in the string, and we are initiating one more for loop here, so that along against the first for loop, the second for loop will be running, and we'll be checking in a condition that the first for loop keyword, how much time it is occurring in whole string or whole string of array. So if it is occurring, how much time it is occurring, that much time the count will be increased. For example, as we are checking, firstly we are checking ARR of A, which means S. So S is equals to how much time in the string? It is one time. So one counter only will be increased, and a console will come out of this of inner for loop, and we'll be checking for the next keyword, next word, which is E. So in this way, this code will be running, and we'll be getting each occurrence will be validating here. If the count is 1 or greater than 1, just print it like this particular ARR of I means the element or this word occurred how much time. So you will be getting an output like this. So that's how you can simply cover this particular Java code without using a map. That's how I explained him. So after this, interview says, thank you. That's all from my side. Do you have any questions? So that's all from the Capgemini L2 round interview question experience side. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. If you found this interview experience helpful, please like the video, comment your interview questions, subscribe to In Hand Automation for more upcoming videos with different companies interview questions, and turn on the notification for real-time interview experience. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Keep learning, keep automating. Till then, bye bye. Take care.